Hello everyone, welcome back to another Stalker 2 video where today we're going to be going through the Scanning Complete achievement. Now, Scanning Complete achievement is very much an easy achievement to do. It just requires a lot of travelling and it's plain simple. I usually recommend going for it near the end of your playthrough, but if you're able to nip out in between the story and just get these scanners on your way, the more the better, because obviously some story decisions you make later may make getting to these locations a bit more difficult, such as the ones I had to do. But as always, the Scanning achievement is quite simple. It revolves around finding these physical scanners, which is the item you used when you first started the game. And once you activate them, they'll usually set off anomalies in the area, and afterwards you get an artifacts you get included. You get 10 artifacts, you have to find 10 scanners. Math is easy. The biggest part about this is hopefully it finally actually gets you some semi-rare artifacts that you wouldn't find normally easily otherwise, and it might finally get you on your way to earning that goddamn gather all artifacts achievement, which I personally have been working on since the game came out. It's just, you're just never going to find them all. You just never are. But without further ado, let's get into it. Moving on here first, you have the first scanner, which is located within the garbage zone. Now, it's within the garbage zone just a little bit over here, just directly above this warehouse and below some pipes. And as you make your way towards it, it just appears to be a vast open area with some construction equipment. Nothing in the area, nothing really dangerous as of yet. But be advised that once you activate these scanners, they'll start setting off some light. They'll start producing a lot of radiation that'll basically kill you if you're not too careful. But with this one in particular, I advise staying as close as you can to it, the opposite of what I'm doing, because it spawns anomalies in the area around it. And these anomalies spawn around are gravity anomalies that are just going to suck you in, damage you, and basically fuck you up. So always be ready for severe radiation, enemies, and anomalies. In this case, it spawns some boars, some rats, gravity anomalies, and a lot of radiation, which is easy to take care of as long as you straight away inject yourself. I always recommend getting some anti-rad artifacts before you achieve them. Always make sure you have plenty of medkits and anti-rad. Because yeah, they really don't even give you a chance to defend yourself. But as always in this video, at the end of every single artifact I find, I will be reviewing them. The whirlwind itself is not my personal favourite, but I think it's really good for early game. Physical protection, so you get more damage resistance. Endurance, so you can sprint for longer, and radio protection, some minor radio protection. But I think it's very much worth having on your character in the early game. Second location is Rosstock. Now, Rosstock has a little slum area at the back, which is massively used in older games. But in the new games, it's not really used that much. But if you go down here, you'll come to this warehouse that is missing most of its roof. When you come into it, you'll find an NPC stood next to a scanner. Clearly that he's trying to do some experimentation with it, but I think he was broken in my game. So I kind of had nothing to do except maybe hurry the process along, because he kept getting into fights, but there was no one to fight. So I decided, you know what, let's just solve his problem a bit earlier, shall we? Once he's dead, you can lose his corpse, you can find this PDA. Now, the goal is, once you have this PDA in your inventory, then the scanner activates. For some reason, it just didn't want to activate, but once I picked it up, it activates it straight away. With this one in particular, just be ready for severe radiation bloodsuckers. Didn't seem to be any anomalies that spawned around it, but just 2 bloodsuckers, and obviously you're not expecting them, are you? So just, yeah, be ready with these guns. Once they're cleared out, you can obviously go back to the scanner itself and retrieve the artifact. Every time you activate the scanner, do not forget to go back and retrieve the artifact. This one is the Dead Sponge. Now, the Dead Sponge is quite a pretty looking artifact in my opinion, but it just offers bleeding resistance of radiation. And if you have a lot of Vincia, like I do throughout the game, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose, in my opinion. You best off just using Vincia. The chemical plant next. It's located just here, literally just below this warehouse and just across the river. And if you go towards it like at night or day, it doesn't matter, but you'll see these bodies around the place. One of them has a PDA, but as I say, just bodies and blood all over the place. But the scanner's on the roof. You have to go through a window to get to it. Once you get to it, you'll notice it doesn't let you turn it on. There's no way to turn it on, and this one has a really annoying thing, which is activates only at midnight. You can only activate it at midnight, so you just gotta wait here, which I did for one whole real world hour. For a whole real world hour I waited, and then you can activate it. Now, once this one turns on, I recommend just activating it straight at midnight. Once this one turns on, obviously you'll go off a bit. Mental gives you a lot of rads, and it also spawns enemies again. The enemies this one spawns is the burner mutant, the trench coat, the leather trench coat wearing mutant. That's psychic abilities. For some reason, it spawned it just over the ledge, which was kind of hilarious because it was quite easy to fight that. So I just walked up and just drilled them. But the artifact it comes with is the petal. Now, the petal itself, in my opinion, is genuinely quite a pretty artifact. Most of the artifacts in this game are quite pretty, but the petal itself does stand out in my opinion because it's well, it's glowy, a little wavy, but again, bleeding resistance, radiation, it's the same. It really is the same, so I don't think it's worth it. Just pack some Vincia, just easier. Once you have access to the chemical plant area, you also have access to the burning forest area. Now, the burning forest area is quite a bit south, about south to the bottom left of the map, and it's the little patch here you can come to, and the scanner is literally just sat on a little cliff. Poking out, just clean poking out of this cliff with some nice lighting effects here. Now, this one in particular, I think this is one of the prettiest locations to activate it because it just lights up everything around it. Well, always be ready for heavy radiation, flame poltergeists, because obviously the ghosts that fly around use telepathy and they're on fire. And flame anomalies, they will be absolutely everywhere. Once they spawn in, obviously just use your rads as fast as you can because otherwise you'll just die in 10 seconds. Just be prepared for a wee little fight. Now, the artifact you get from this one is the magma. Now, the magma for some reason is broken when you try to inspect it. It doesn't go in your hand. But thermal protection, weight and radiation. The weight, in my opinion, does make this one a bit better of an artifact. But again, I don't really think it's worth it unless you're just using it for the weight. So don't forget to upgrade your suits to withstand the radiation. North of the burnt forest you have the Yaniv area, which is close to Yaniv station. Just there to the left of the red forest. This is a little pedestal here. If you go here, there's a big open area. And on arrival, you actually just find the scanner just here. Just in the middle of an empty field, but surrounded by bones, and that's it, just various debris. Once you activate the scanner, you're gonna be in some serious shit. So expect chemical anomalies, heavy rads, armored moose mutants, like the elk, some boars, some dogs, some rats. You are absolutely gonna have Mother Nature herself come and just kick you in the balls for no reason. So again, as always, just stay semi close to it because the chems just come around for no reason. But this one keeps like spawning them at the scanner, so you'll see them like spawn inside of me. And from this one you get the Devil's Mushroom. Now the Devil's Mushroom itself, again, is generally quite a pretty artifact. I do like it. I do like the look of it, but I don't find much use for it beyond the chemical protection and the increased durability, but the radiation is insane. Now, once again, a bit further along in the storyline, you'll eventually get access to Wild Island. And once you have access to Wild Island, you'll get access to the Zaton area. And if you come a bit over here, you'll find this pipe. Straight in, just up past a dead ship. Walk into it, you can see there's a ladder at the back. Over here, you go through the pipe and just crouch and walk through the pipe. Now, as you keep going through, you'll notice that there's just glass anomalies everywhere. And the shredded glass anomalies, I'm assuming you've all met them before, but you just don't go through them fast and you'll be fine. Just walk slowly through them. Going back to the main room here, you'll see the scanner's already been activated and already has an artifact to claim. There's a dead scientist next to it. Now, as always, you can loot these bodies and they have PDAs that explain a bit more about like the story around these, but this gives you the ciliite. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but ciliite itself, chemical protection and increased durability. So, in my opinion, not really worth it. If you've already got the previous artifact, the Devil's Mushroom, there's really no point to equip the ciliite. But again, another little artifact on the way to getting the achievement, the dreaded achievement. Now, one of the most difficult ones to get to is the Swamp Bridge scanner. Swamp Bridge scanner is literally the southeastern part of the map, the maximum southeastern part of the map. You come down here, you have this crashed rail cars. You have to make your way through this slab of water, get to the bridge, and there's like a jumping puzzle. Not really much of a puzzle as much as just take your time, go slowly. There's gravity anomalies all over the place. Just use your bolts and you'll be fine. Just use your bolts, turn off the anomalies, and you can jump over them. Just take your time. Make sure you do not run out of stamina. Once you get down on the other side, just be aware of some enemies, because there are zombies around. Miscellaneous sea zombies. They're just wandering around. You don't even need to activate the scanner, because the scanner has already been activated. And clearly, it turned everyone into CZs. You can see a few to your left, a few to your right. Just I recommend taking them out before you grab the artifact if you can. because there's literally just no anomalies here, just the Zs. Once you've got rid of all them, you can pass over towards the scanner, and then activating it and giving me the crown, you realise there's a Z behind the thing, like the last one, and this guy has a PDA on him that explains why the scanner is here. Kind of sad, but still, the crown is, again, quite nice, physical protection and endurance, but it's almost functionally identical in my opinion to the whirlwind, and the whirlwind doesn't offer any negatives, so not really worth it. But if you do a quest for owl, you can turn it into owl, and I think that's more worth it than anything. Moving on to the cooling plant scanner. The cooling plant scanner is located on top of a big crane, one of those moving big 4-post cranes, and you make your way up here, and there's just some enemies around the foot of it because of the point I'm in the story. But like I say, this is dependent on what choices you make during the story, but I got quite far, so as you climb it, there's just electrical anomalies all over the bloody place. They really are just everywhere. Yeah, they really are just everywhere. Just use your bolts to clear them, which didn't matter in my case, so not really much luck today. As you climb up here, you can obviously get to another gangplank, another catwalk, and make your way towards the scanner. The scanner is about midway and directly across, like the entire length of the crane, so about midway and directly across on a platform you have to jump through. You can see up there, there's the scanner. You have to jump from catwalk to get to it. It's quite forgiving, I find. There's a nice little stash there as well, and this is one of the blueprint stashes as well, so it's quite grateful I found that one. Once you activate the scanner, be prepared. This one, again, high rads. This one spawns poltergeists, and the poltergeists in this game really annoy me because they move so fast that you can't kill the bloody things. But as always, be ready for high rads and poltergeists. And here's something I wasn't expecting: to be killed by a sausage today. Yes, a sausage. I thought you deserved to see that one. But moving on through, so you reactivate it again, get a lot of rads, and we can fight these poltergeists. And there's 2 of them. Now, one of them was quite easy to get, in my opinion, because you just kept running up and down the same gangplank. But the other one, I never found him. I think he's like high up or something, because I never found the other poltergeist. I have no idea where it was. Reactivate the scanner, you get the lantern. Now, the lantern, I think, is really, really pretty. Now, electrical protection and radio protection, this is genuinely worth it. I think this is easily one of my favourite looking artifacts, and it's worth it because there's no negatives. Moving on now to Jupiter, which is just past Yaniv, so you have to wait until you unlock the ability to get to Prypiat in order for you to get to Jupiter. And Jupiter is this little area here. Jupiter in the olden games used to be like a factory where you could find one of the choppers when it came to called the Prypiat, but in this one it's not as well expanded in my opinion, but this is just a nice little electrical area. So there's bodies everywhere, and this is the body you can find with the PDA on it that explains the reason the scanner's here. But as you push through, you'll see just vague nothing and some light. Rubbish everywhere. Well, nothing. When you activate this one, guess again, you get a lot of rads, electrical anomalies, and 2 electro poltergeists. And electro poltergeists are, in my opinion, the worst ones because they electrify you when they run into you. So if you've still got that electro protection artifact on the last one, use it. This one gives you a crest, and the crest looks a bit like a lizard, like a curled lizard, lighting up blue, and it's quite, again, it's quite pretty. All of these artifacts are quite pretty. And the crest itself is just endurance and radiation, so it kind of specializes in the ability to run for longer, and that is it. That is the beginning and end of it. Now, moving on to our last scanner here, is located within Prypiat. Prypiat obviously is the final end game of the game itself, and as you come here, you'll find right to the tip of Prypiat, you'll find this little building. It's quite a unique building. I'm not sure what it's meant to be. It looks almost like a transit centre. As you come to the side of it, there's an entrance facing the water. And as you walk into it, you'll see some ladders. Go straight up the ladders. Some lights in the distance. Nice little fight going over there. Just go straight up the ladder, and as you climb up there, you'll see more stairs. But once you go up the stairs, do a full 180 as you go around this corner, and there you go. I climb up here, and this takes you right to the top you can possibly get, using electro bolt to clear that anomaly. And here's the scanner. Now this one is the easiest one to survive in my opinion. You just activate it, you just got some high rads, and you've just got some... Here the zombies, but the zombies are on ground level. They're not close to you, they're on ground level. So yeah, they're not really a problem, but quite a pretty light show. And the second you pick up the artifact, you get the scanning complete achievement. And in my opinion, just genuinely quite uncomfortable looking artifact. Again, thermal protection, high radiation, not really worth equipping, but you have to get it in order to get the achievement, so no choice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video and this little tutorial on how to get the scanning complete achievement. It's quite a long-term achievement. You have to play the entire game in order to get access to all the areas, so it's a progressional achievement you need to get. I am planning on getting a few more videos up relatively soon, but when it comes to me and my plans for the next week, I'll be over in the UK, so I am not looking at being available for the next week. But as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. If this did help you, don't forget to hit a comment, a like, subscribe. It all helps, it always helps. And yeah, as always guys, from me, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this gets you a little bit further away to getting the dreaded achievements, the fucking horrible collect all artifacts achievement, which is basically the same as gambling at this point. So as always guys, cheers.